You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to Best Bets for Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. I'm your show host, Michelle Fern. Want to snazz up your dog's wardrobe? Stay tuned. I have a great solution. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Buster, you're telling me my dog food products can't go on your shelves?
That's right. Didn't pass one of my Petco certified nutrition checklists. Sorry, Wayne.
Who made these checklists?
Geniuses. Very smart guys.
Well, it's good enough for most grocery stores.
Do you see cheese puffs on my shelves? Mayonnaise? Soda pop?
No.
That's because I ain't running no grocery store, Wayne. Your pets will get better nutrition, I guarantee it. Petco, where the healthy pets go.
Enter the code LUCKY10, LUCKY, the number 10, and get 10% off any order. No minimum at petco.com.
I play tennis because I love to. But inside, I want to win. Take away the court, the net. I might not be a player, but I'll always be a competitor. Lady Foot Locker understands that.
Lady Foot Locker, the first to carry Adidas off-court shoes and the gear that goes with them.
If you play your best, there's no regret.
Lady Foot Locker, one place, every woman.
Go to ladyfootlocker.com and enter the code AFBP10LF to get 10% off any order of $50 or more. Or enter the code AFBP15LF to get 15% off any order of $75 or more at ladyfootlocker.com.
I don't make any decisions about who to hire without going to Angie's List first.
You'll find reviews on home repair to healthcare, written by people just like you.
With Angie's List, I know who to call, and I know the results will be fantastic.
Angie's List, who you can trust.
Go to angieslist.com/best and get 25% off any subscription. That's angieslist.com/best, BEST.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. Oh Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand. This is the place for a special paparazzi treat. Only on PetLifeRadio.com. Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Best Bets for Pets. I'd like to welcome Robin Meyer of Robin Meyer NYC. Welcome.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing just fine, thanks.
So, first, can you tell our listeners about Robin Meyer NYC?
Absolutely. I had started out in the fashion industry. We live right outside of New York, and I had worked in the fashion industry there for about 25 years, designing actually women's apparel. And we have 4 dogs, and we had gotten a smaller dachshund about 3 years ago, and I looked, at the typical larger scale department stores and couldn't find anything that was attractive or unique for our new little puppy. So I went online, and everything was over $100, which I thought was a little crazy. So, as I said, I was still working in the fashion industry, and I started making a couple of collars for her. The first one I made was a genuine freshwater pearl collar that I attached the pearls to a functional, just flat black collar. And then I made another one with little roses. And I'd be walking the dogs in the neighborhood, and our neighbors would say, "Robin, where did you get that collar?" well, I made it. And he said, can you make one for me too? And then I did a couple of sweaters and a coat. And then my job in the fashion industry, I had been at Liz Claiborne for 12 years, and the industry has changed so much. So I said to my husband, what do you think? I think there's a huge opportunity to start a business, taking my fashion background, my love of dogs, and combining the two. And that's how we got started, and that was about 2.5 years ago. And it's been terrific ever since.
You know, on my show, I try to have things that are a little different because it's better for my listeners because it just showcases items that are just different. One of the things that I thought was very different is that most of the clothing I see for dogs is made for dogs that are maybe 10 pounds and under or even smaller. And I have dogs that the smallest is 20 pounds and the other one's 40. And it's so hard to find something for the 40 pound. And I did receive your raincoat sample and the collar, and it's gorgeous.
No, thank you.
It's so gorgeous. Fit him great. It's very easy to fit on the dog because it Velcros and so forth. And it's really different. What made you decide, because that's a really different part of the market, to also create things for larger dogs? Because everybody focuses on the little teeny teacups, which nothing wrong with the little dogs, but the big dogs want raincoats and coats and all that too.
As I mentioned, we have 4 dogs. 2 of them are on the larger scale. We have a border collie and a lab mix, and they're both in the 50 to 55 pound range. Then we have a miniature dachshund, and recently rescued a Yorkie Pomeranian mix. So we have dogs from 55, 60 pounds all the way down to the little guy is about 7 pounds. So I have outstanding fit models, and to your point, when I would take the bigger guys out, it didn't matter, big or small, they do not like the rain. And I found, when you put one of the little slickers on them, they're totally waterproof, and they're much happier to go out, for their walk or just run out to the yard and back. Having 4 dogs, you had mentioned the Velcro. Everything that we do is totally functional. That's was and is very important to me. That where I had mentioned a pearl collar, but it's a pearl collar that has a buckle and a D-ring that you hook a leash to it, and you can go. The coats, the slickers that we do in spring are reversible and Velcro on and off, so that you can get them dogs out very quickly. The other thing we do in the fall is sweaters, which are, for a warmth factor. They're in 100% cotton, so they can be, washed and dried. So that really has been our handle, but coming out of the fashion industry, it's fashion meets function, that bringing kind of like a fun twist and pretty colors, or some of the Glen plaids for the male dogs. And so we really, what's been done in men's and women's apparel, we've translated to dog, which has been kind of fun.
And the color received is gorgeous. It's like a red patent leather through chain, and it looks like it's part of the handle of a gorgeous purse. Now, talk about fashion meets function. You can tell you have a fashion background just by looking at the collar. Where do you come up with the ideas for your collars and sweaters and slickers?
Funny that you say that about the one collar, Michelle. That actually is from a classic Chanel handbag. It's the classic handbag that has, generally you see it in black, and it has the kind of padded, quilted appearance. And then the chain handle, it has generally a silver chain with the leather woven through. So I took that idea and, again, trying to make it, totally functional. We put a buckle on it, a D-ring. I worked with my collar manufacturer, and he came up with a great-looking item that I really hadn't seen elsewhere. And I still love fashion. I'm in New York very often, and in the department stores, and I'm always looking for inspiration elsewhere. I had started my career at Ralph Lauren, and I think that is a lot of my initial inspiration as far as classic American fashion, and that translates to dogs as well, with little houndstooth check jackets and Glen plaids and boucle tweeds and that type of thing. Sweaters, all natural fibers. We have one sweater we did last year that was terrific, that was a heavier gauge Aran cable, a very chunky cable like a fisherman sweater that you would see, and that was a great seller with a turtleneck collar. So again, it's taking things that I'd worked on for 25 years and translating them into the dog world, but keeping them generally 100% natural fibers, totally functional, and with a classic twist that I really feel with any type of clothing that it's an investment, and the quality's there, and it should be made to last a very long time. So that's what we're looking to achieve.
Well, for my sample, I'm really, really impressed. The raincoat's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. It's made well. And my dog, he's larger, but he's skittish and he gets nervous with stuff. So it's not so easy to put anything on him. And he was fine with it. He was comfortable with it on. No problem. It's raining here today, so we'll get to test it out in the rain for the third, fourth time. He didn't mind it outside, and it's comfortable, and I live in a warmer place, and he was fine with it. So that was really, really great, that it was comfortable for him, because that has to be number one.
Absolutely. I mean, that's great to hear. And with the Velcro, we've made it wide enough so that if your dog is slightly in between size, there is, a forgiveness that you can move it in a little bit or move it out, so that it still would have, a very secure but comfortable fit to it as well.
Robin, where can our listeners find out more about Robin Meyer NYC as far as the different items that you have for sale?
You can go to our website, which is robinmeyernyc.com. Listed on the Where to Buy page are several boutiques around the country where our product is being sold. We're also in the catalog in the Company of Dogs, and we are going to post on Amazon in the near future so that customers around the country can get a fuller selection. Oftentimes the boutiques only buy 3 or 4 items.
How often do you add new items to your collection?
Twice a year. We do a spring-summer line, and then we do a fall-winter line. The fabrications change with the seasons. We do the rain slicker, introducing that in January or February for spring, and lighter weight harnesses. And then we transition into a fall color palette, fall fabrications. We do have some signature items that do run year-round. The chain collar that you mentioned is one of our ongoing items, and we have an embossed leather croco collar that is also a seasonless item. But occasionally, we'll change out a color, switch in a new color. But we try to keep everything kind of fresh and updated.
Okay, and our listeners can go to robinmeyernyc.com to find out more, and we'll also have a link to your website and a picture on our episode page, as always. Robin, in talking, I hear that you have a mixed breed dog. Does Robin Meyer NYC do anything with, rescue dogs or anything like that?
Absolutely. All of our dogs, except one, have come from various animal shelters, and it's really, really important to me personally, and as far as my business, contributing a portion to the various, rescue groups in our area. But there are so many homeless dogs and cats in this world, and the opportunity to go and find one that will love you and you can make a good life for it is really important to me. And our goal at Robin Meyer NYC is to be able to give a percentage of our profits to the various local rescue groups.
That's wonderful. It's always great to give back, and you're so right. There's so many dogs and cats available that would make great pets that are just homeless at the various shelters.
A couple weeks ago, we adopted another little guy, and he's a little over a year old, and he is sweet as can be, and fell in with the other 3 dogs and became part of the pack, and he's been great. So I highly encourage people to go out and do that, and it should be their first stop, and if they're looking for a new dog or puppy or kitten, whatever.
Thanks so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling our listeners about Robin Meyer NYC. And I love your clothing, your doggy clothing, and I look forward to seeing more.
Very good. Thanks so much, Michelle. I appreciate it.
So thanks, Robin, so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling our listeners all about Robin Meyer NYC.
Thank you, Michelle. This was very fun, and I love what we're doing, and hope that your customers will seek us out and have the opportunity to go on the website and purchase.
Thanks, Robin, for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling our listeners all about Robin Meyer NYC. And thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me sound great. And for my fur babies, Zeus, who loves his new raincoat, and Nikki and Dennis, who are going to have raincoats soon. I promise, boys. We'll be right back with another great episode for you.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to 1-800-PetMeds.com/best, BEST, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at PetMeds.com.
Whether they're big, small, hairy, or whatever, you're going to need gear for your feet. And Kids Foot Locker's got all the great shoes and gear that'll get you in the game.
Go to kidsfootlocker.com and enter the code AFBP10KF to get 10% off any order of $50 or more. Or enter the code AFAM15KF to get 15% off any order of $75 or more at kidsfootlocker.com.
And cover those funky feet.
How would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience? We have a brand new trademark concept called InfoSeeds. InfoSeeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service. Is the best, most cost-effective way to invite us in. We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit the website
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information. There you can listen to a sample of InfoSeed. Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
New York, the glitz, the glamour, the exciting Mutt-tropolis, the sparkling kitty city that never sleeps. Join us each week for Pets in the City with your host, Diane West. Celebrity pet sightings, hot events, and news and reviews with the hottest movers, shakers, and tail waggers in New York. So take a bite out of the Big Apple with Pets in the City every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we have a really special guest. I'd like to welcome Wendy Diamond. She is the pet lifestyle expert. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you.
So, tell all our listeners, what's a pet lifestyle expert?
Well, I basically started my career in 1999 after adopting my dog Lucky and my cat Pasha. I launched a company called Animal Fair, which is Fairness to Animals, FAIR. And Animal Fair is the first ever lifestyle magazine where we have Charlize Theron and her dog on the cover, or Renee Zellweger, her dog on the cover, or Justin Bieber and his dog on the cover. And it promotes animal rescue and welfare issues. And we promote everything to do with like local animal rescue to, welfare issues and everything like that. And basically, I am pretty much a renowned lifestyle expert, meaning I have 10 books out. One book called How to Understand Men Through Their Dogs, How to Understand Women Through Their Cats. I have It's a Dog's World with Random House. I'm also the person that is one of the people who put out the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. We currently have the books My Dog's Life and My Cat's Life out in the stores right now. And so I do everything I can to promote animal rescue, adoption, and also welfare issues pertaining to, better life for your pets and making sure they're treated correctly.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's a lot. That's wonderful. That's impressive.
It's a lot, but don't forget I've been doing this for 10 years, which is 70 dog years.
Wow. So today we're going to talk about these treats they're Milo's Treats.
Milo's Kitchen, yeah.
From Milo's Kitchen. Okay, these snacks. Now, I sample just about maybe 95% of the products that I receive. Some, I had a fish show and I don't have fish, but I sample them. And my dogs went crazy. My cat wanted the treat too. Went crazy. There's meatballs. There's a chicken jerky. There's a beef jerky, a sausage. I'm not a big meat eater, and they smelled wonderful to me. I was tempted to try it.
Did you try them?
I didn't eat it myself.
Well, they're actually 100% jerky. So they're actually, if you want, you can eat them. These are, I did a survey with Milo's Kitchen, and we found that 81% of pet parents consider their dogs a part of the family. So that was why when they were creating Milo's Kitchen, they were created with that in mind, meaning they wanted the best products to put into those treats, and they're 100% real jerky. They're like a home-style dog treat.
First, the meatballs, I've never seen doggy treats and meatballs, except if you made them yourself. They look like little meatballs, except they're not that mushy, which is what you want for a dog treat.
Right.
And all of the treats were fabulous. It's wonderful to know that the ingredients are all natural ingredients and that they're, it's jerky, it's beef, and what have you. How did this idea come about for these snacks?
I think Del Monte just wanted to make a treat that was probably the ultimate treat for a dog. Our dogs are such a part of our family. I mean, they're not outside in the doghouse anymore. They're inside on their own dog bed. And I think we finally have realized how much dogs have given us in our lives. People who have dogs, they realize like the unconditional love, loyalty, and a bond you get from nobody but a dog, right? And so I think that when Milo's Kitchen was developed, that was what was in mind, and they just decided that they're going to use the best ingredients they possibly could for these treats.
The treats are wonderful. Where can our listeners get the treats?
Pretty much anywhere. You could get them anywhere, anything pet related is sold. So you could get them at, Petco, PetSmart, Walmart, any store.
Okay, now we've talked a little about the Milo's treats. What do you recommend as far as when you should give your dog treats or how you should give your dog treats?
First off, I think what's important for people to realize is the person who has the pet is the most important person to that dog, right? So, for instance, you as the parent of that dog is the most important relationship your dog could ever have. Your second most important relationship is your vet. I tell everybody your vet should be your dog's second best friend. And what I always say to people is it's important to understand your dog's health. Picking the right type of food is just as important as picking the right type of treat. A treat is a treat. It is not food, meaning it should be given at times when your dog does something good when you want to congratulate your dog. I always say, like, I have that whole philosophy from my book, How to Understand Men Through Their Dogs. No tricks without treats. Meaning, you know what? Don't just give your dog a treat every 2 seconds, because that is unhealthy. It's like having chocolate every 2 seconds. It's not appropriate. So it's definitely times when your dog deserves a treat, and that's when it is. Some dogs deserve a treat once a day, some twice a day, someone every other day. It just depends on the dog, the size of the dog, and also the size of the treat.
Is there any time that or age difference as far as what types of treats? So should puppies get certain treats that older dogs would not?
Well, again, it should be probably, I would look at your dog's, weight, age, health, and that's why I always say to people, it's important to have a relationship with your veterinarian, because, your dog might not be right for a certain dog food, and that might be why it's lethargic or so forth. So it's important to also, when they're older, not to give as much treats, because overweight dog is an unhealthy dog. And so, especially when they're older, they need to be fit, because they need to have the best health they can have as they grow older.
What are the types of snacks available from Milo's Kitchen?
Oh, well, they have everything from like the chicken, the meatballs, to the beef jerky. So it's also really great is for when people are, looking at, treats. It's like good to get, a mixture of them. We have 4 different packs so that you don't, do we always want to eat the same thing? No. It's great to give an assortment, because I think it's like dogs, they're sick of eating the same dog food all the time. So giving them a different kind of treat all the time is really important.
Okay. And then this has been some great information on treats that you've given us. Where can our listeners find out more about, your information, your books and things like that, so that they can find out when to give the treats, what they should look for, and so forth?
Well, they can go to wendydiamond.com, and that's Wendy, from Peter Pan, Wendy, Diamond, like the ring, wendydiamond.com, or animalfair.com, and that's FAIR. And they can, pretty much find out anything they want about any type of information you would ever need to know about living with your dog, traveling with your dog, anything.
Okay, great. And for the Milo's Kitchen, where can our listeners find out more about those products?
Oh, they could just absolutely go to miloskitchen.com, and there's all the information you'd ever need to know about, what kind of treats you should give your dog, and et cetera.
Okay, great. Now, do you have anything exciting coming up that our listeners can know about? Any new books coming out?
Absolutely. Right now, I have my new Chicken Soup for the Soul, My Dog's Life. It just hit the stands a couple of weeks ago, and it's just 101 stories that are going to make you smile and cry and laugh, and just about how much people appreciate their dogs through their entire life and how they've helped them change their lives. And we just did a big event in New York City called Pause for Style, where we had one-of-a-kind dog outfits from all the major fashion designers, from Narciso Rodriguez to Nanette Lepore, where they designed one-of-a-kind dog outfits. And everyone from Natalie Morales from the Today Show and Real Housewives of New York walked them down the runway. And those are actually going to be up on eBay later today that people can bid on, and they're going to raise money for the Humane Society. So we got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And we'll also be on The View next week. So you can watch me on The View next week, and I'll be also talking about, when's a great time to give your dog a treat.
Okay, great. Now, if our listeners missed the initial broadcast, can they go online and find the broadcast?
Absolutely. Of course. If you just go to wendydiamond.com, you can also find us on Facebook, but wendydiamond.com, and you can get all the information you need on anything that we do in trying to raise awareness for animal rescue and adoption and welfare issues, or miloskitchen.com for more information on their dog treats.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much, listeners, for taking the time to listen to Best Bets for Pets. I hope you enjoyed hearing all about Milo's Kitchen treats. They are amazing. Your dogs will love you, love everybody for these treats. They will just flip for them. My dog, as you know, if you've listened, one is picky, one eats everything. And the picky guy went crazy for it. And I'm telling you, some jerky, he puts his nose up. He doesn't want it, which is nuts to me. But he went crazy for these treats. They are really, really good. You can find them just about anywhere. It's Milo's Kitchen. And I would like to thank you for listening. As always, I so appreciate it. And thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me sound good. And for my furry babies for being great testers. I'm sure they didn't mind testing Milo's treats. They loved them. Thanks so much.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.